The Maruti Suzuki Swift has been the king of the premium hatchback segment for around a decade now. And not without reason. The price point at which it was introduced was mouth-watering, and Maruti kept updating the Swift to keep it in the limelight. The Swift is in its second generation now, which was launched in 2011 and refreshed in 2014. Hyundai's i10 saw a fair share of success too. The i10 was positioned as an upmarket offering to Hyundai's aged workhorse, the Santro Zing. In September 2013, Hyundai launched the Grand i10. Although the Grand i10 replaced the i10 internationally, it continues to sell alongside its predecessor in the Indian market. Let's see who comes out on top in this battle between the Maruti Swift and the Hyundai Grand i10. One glance at the Maruti and you'd immediately see influences of the old generation Swift. The styling theme is carried forward from the last iteration. The Swift's face is characterized by large swept-back headlamps, a distinctive grille with the Suzuki logo, and a 3-slat air dam. The fog lamp clusters are redesigned and get silver accents. The Grand i10 follows the fluidic design philosophy, which is quite evident in its styling. The front gets a large hexagonal air dam, a slim grille with the Hyundai logo, and swept-back headlamps. The fog lamps get a chrome lining, which is a nice touch. The Swift side profile reminds us of its previous generation. The window line swoops up towards the rear of the car. Though this looks good, it does make the rear window a bit small. The rear tail lamps cut into the rear quarter panel, which make the already short overhang of the car look even shorter. The Grand i10 silhouette is rather clean. It features a distinct character line running across the length of the car from the front quarter panel, continuing to the rear quarter panel and vanishing into the wraparound tail lamps. The side also reveals neatly integrated roof rails and the rather generous amount of black cladding on the doors. The tail lamps themselves look slightly tiny compared to the car. The rear is dominated by the large hatch door with the hatch release tucked away neatly under the Hyundai logo. The rear bumpers get a couple of reflectors on either side which help in breaking the monotony. Both cars get electrically folding mirrors with integrated blinkers. The Swift edges past the Grand i10 in terms of styling. The Swift manages to pull off a mature look effortlessly, whereas the Hyundai struggles to have character. The interiors on the Swift are a combination of black and silver, with the latter being used as a highlight. For example, there are silver accents around the AC vents, the door pads, and even the chunky steering wheel, which itself is a delight to use. The top-spec Swift also gets steering-mounted controls for calls and the music system. The entire center console follows a waterfall theme integrating the central AC vents, the music system, and the automatic climate control in one go. The interiors of the Grand i10 are finished in dual tone, with the top finished in black and the lower half finished in beige. The AC vents on the Hyundai get chrome lining as well. The steering wheel looks identical to that on the Elite i20 and houses controls for the audio and telephony too. Both the vehicles get a 2-DIN music system that supports USB and auxiliary inputs over the standard radio and CD player. The Grand i10 however sports 1 GB of internal storage which can be used to store your favorite MP3s. There are adequate storage spaces around the cabin of either cars to store those bottles and knickknacks. The Swift front seat have been subject to praise countless times now. It is just that good. It is adequately comfortable and provides excellent support, be it lower back, side or lumbar. The rear seats are rather forgettable, with headroom and legroom being severely limited. The Grand i10 feels rather spacious for its size. The headroom at the rear is definitely better and the legroom is a tad bit better too. The only fly in the ointment is the integrated headrest on the front seat, which spoil an otherwise premium interior. The Grand i10 features a segment-first rear AC vent, which gives it an edge over the Maruti. Both cars are better off as 4-seaters. The fifth passenger in the rear bench won't feel welcomed in either. The Swift has one of the smallest boot spaces, measuring just 204 litres. The Grand i10 has a comparatively bigger boot at 256 litres. The Grand i10 is the clear winner in this department, as the Swift lacks in rear passenger comfort, not only in terms of space, but it also misses out on the rear AC vent. Under the hood of the the Swift is the 1.3-litre DDIS engine that produces 75 PS of power and 190 Nm of torque. The Grand i10 features a 1.1-litre 3-cylinder diesel engine which churns out 71 PS of power and a respectable 160 Nm of torque. The Swift's diesel heart is slightly lethargic at low RPMs. There's evident turbo lag right up to 2000 RPM. Once past that mark, the acceleration is rather linear and progressive. It does miss the push in the seat feeling of the old iteration. Coming to the Hyundai, its diesel mill is best left to the city. The engine has a very flat torque curve which makes it easy to use, since you don't have to downshift every now and then. Although it can handle the highways, it does feel out of breath very quickly. The Hyundai steering is light and extremely easy to use in and around the city. It doesn't feel as confidence-inspiring on the highways though. The Swift steering on the other hand is direct and extremely responsive in nature. Coming to the ride quality, it is definitely better on the Grand i10. The suspension on the Swift is slightly stiff, making it a bit uncomfortable over broken roads. The Grand i10 takes the cake in terms of passenger comfort. The Swift diesel has a claimed efficiency of 25.2 km to the litre as compared to the Grand i10's 24. In terms of outright performance and handling, the Swift trumps the Grand i10. Yes, the suspension is a bit on the firmer side, but it's a small price to pay for the sedan-like highway manners that the Swift has. Though the Grand i10 is an extremely compelling package at 6.7 lakhs ex-showroom for the top-end diesel, we'd still pick the Swift. The equipment levels are more or less exactly the same in either car. The Hyundai scores better in terms of rear space, but only marginally. Our pick remains the Swift for its look and its fun-to-drive motor. Do subscribe to the Car Dekho channel and don't forget to like, comment and share.